This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Burnout, compassion fatigue, moral fatigue, those are all things that we deal with on a daily basis.
New tonight, an alarming problem centering around the people that care for our animals. According to the Centers for Disease Control, veterinarians are committing suicide at an alarming rate. RTV6 found vets are 2 to 3 times more likely to take their own lives than the general population. Our Stephanie Wade digs into the reasons why.
I might go from an exam room and be working with a puppy or a kitten to walking next door and doing a euthanasia. And that's a huge mental swing.
From the beginning of her career as a veterinarian, Dr. Jennifer Quammen says suicide is an issue widely talked about amongst her profession. 1 in 6 is what's commonly referred to as 1 in 6 practicing veterinarians, vet students, or even technicians have contemplated suicide within the last year. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found male vets are 2.1 times as likely, and females 3.5 times as likely to die by suicide compared with the general population. And this is especially concerning as more than 60% of vets are women.
We talk about euthanasia, we guide people toward it, we physically deliver it. And so at one point when you're in a down place yourself, why would you not naturally think, oh, if I'm counseling a client that's an okay thing, that I can see this as a way out as well.
Things like pricey medical school debt, but getting paid less than half of a typical physician or surgeon, and a tendency to isolate themselves makes veterinary one of the top professions at risk for suicide. And coming up at 6, we talk more about resources available in our state and what you can do if someone's in need of help. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Signs to watch out for include people withdrawing from social activities, not as talkative or acting like themselves. Their pattern or daily routine is different. Experts say your role is not to be a mental health professional, but you should find out if something is going on. Tonight, Indianapolis Animal Care Services is dealing with a large number of animals and has nowhere to put many of them. Its shelter on the southeast side is full, so now through Sunday, IACS is offering free adoptions to help clear space. The holding pens in both the dog and cat rooms are so full, and many animals are now being placed in temporary cages. And then there's this, a sign on the shelter's door that says, "We are over capacity. Any animal surrendered is at increased risk of euthanasia."
We're asking that if you've been contemplating adopting, just come down, take a look at all the animals that we have, and maybe you'll fall in love with one.
If you don't want to adopt, IACS can foster an animal or volunteer. You can help walk dogs, feed animals, and clean the shelter. Any way you can help, you could be saving a cat or dog's life. IACS is located at 2600 South Harding Street. Just into the RTV6 newsroom, in a rare move, the city of Indianapolis plans to have a say in IPL's proposed 7-year rate hike. Today, the city filed a petition to intervene with the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. Indianapolis has hired an attorney, Ann Becker, to take a close look at IPL's proposal, which would raise customer bills over a 7-year period. The Regulatory Commission has been holding public hearings on IPL's plan and is likely to issue a decision early next year. In addition to considering public input and what has been filed with the IURC, commissioners will also hear the city's position on the plan. The IPL plan would meet an average customer bill increase of $10.50 per month by the year 2027. A bit of rain moving through the state, and that's helping to bring some winds of change, especially with our temperatures. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is forecasting what to expect over the weekend.
4 in a row. We hit 91 today, so that's 4 days in a row. There's not a 5th, though, for tomorrow. That's one of the changes. Just to show you as far as what's happening now, 88, we're down 3 degrees from our high temperature. Look at the wind out of the southwest at 21 miles per hour. It eventually comes to the west and northwest. That will bring the cooler feel. There is a thunderstorm watch just touching parts of the state. We go into northeast Indiana, Hartford City, Portland at the edge of the RTV6 viewing area. Then you get into Fort Wayne television land, and we can show you one thunderstorm just to the east of Muncie, another stronger one leaving Portland and Jay County, pushing to the northeast. We have additional possibilities here, some downpours. One's just flaring up outside 465, basically at 465 and 65. That will move northeast. Then some heavier rain between Rushville and Connorsville. Another shower there south of Nashville. All of this ahead of a cold front, which will move from west to east across the state. As we change direction solidly out of the west, then we'll start to lower the humidity and eventually the temperature. 85 in Lafayette, 90 in Columbus, 89 in Muncie, 87 in Terre Haute. We'll have your football forecast for tonight, tomorrow, and the look at the week ahead coming up.
We'll see you soon, Kevin. Thank you. I-465 is back open tonight on the west side after this shocking scene earlier in the day. The Wayne Township Fire Department says a tow truck was traveling on 10th Street when the crane fell off and rolled down an embankment, hitting a vehicle before it landed on I-465. The person inside the vehicle was not seriously hurt. The highway near 10th Street was closed for hours until crews could remove the crane and clean up the mess. It's still unclear why the crane fell from the tow truck. Meantime, right now, Metro Police are looking for a semi-truck and the trucker behind the wheel who ran into the 75th Street Bridge over I-465. That happened this morning on the city's northeast side. IMPD says the collision took a large chunk of concrete out of the bridge and left debris over the highway. Police say the trucker drove off and now they are looking for the driver. Crews closed a section of 75th Street while they assess the damage and the structural integrity of the bridge. If you have any information on this case, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. A reminder about an RTV6 traffic alert for this weekend. The south and westbound lanes of I-465 between I-65 and I-70 are still shut down on the southeast side for bridge work. We are giving you a live look at that area, but we're having a little bit of issues with our camera. There it is, back online. NDOT says a shutdown is better than a lane closure because it lets them get the work done in 15 days rather than 9 months. I-465 is supposed to reopen by Saturday, September 21st. Students are expected to return to Amy Beverlin Elementary School in Lawrence Township on Monday after a fire today caused everyone to evacuate the school. Lawrence Township School says the fire started in the roof of the building and was in an area that was under construction. Students and staff quickly evacuated and everyone is safe and accounted for. The school dismissed students for the day, but again, Amy Beverlin Elementary School is expected to be open on Monday. Hiring Hoosiers is an RTV6 effort to connect our viewers to job opportunities. And tonight we highlight the education it takes to go from the classroom to a career. Students in Henry County are heating things up in their welding program. At Newcastle Career Center, students focus on the basic welding areas like shielded metal, gas metal arc, and oxy-fuel. Students are taught to weld a variety of metals in multiple positions. They also learn how to read blueprints and how to set up these machines to use them. Students and instructors say this program is so valuable and prepares people for the workforce.
You know, I go in there and I know I have the qualifications I need and that I'll place higher over someone else because of my training that I already have.
It's just really neat to see someone go from not being able to do anything other than regular book work to be able to build a real part that someone will use.
Students will receive multiple college credits and they can get a full certification through Ivy Tech. They also have the opportunity to complete multiple internships throughout the community. To learn more about this welding program or any other educational or career opportunity that you see on RTV6, go to hiringhoosiers.com. Still ahead here on RTV6 News at 5, an Indiana high school football player drowns in the school pool. What the school says happened and the latest on the investigation. Kevin.
And the isolated thunderstorms that we'll have this evening, some ongoing now, will put down some heavy rainfall briefly. One of those instances just to the southeast of 465 southeast Marion County outside of Beech Grove, headed toward New Powell. We'll talk about the changes tonight and the dramatic change for tomorrow coming up.
Fitting at the Good Feet store.
Welcome back to RTV6 News at 5. An investigation is underway after a 14-year-old high school student and a football player was found unresponsive at the bottom of a high school pool in northwest Indiana this week. The Lake County Sheriff's Office says officers rushed to Calumet New Tech High School in Gary to report a possible drowning. First responders found freshman Curtis Walton unresponsive in the pool after going through a conditioning drill. Walton died. Our ABC station in Chicago reports that witnesses say the pool was open to players after football practice, and at some point the young athlete was discovered at the bottom of the pool. School officials could not say if Walton knew how to swim. The family of rock star Eddie Money says he has died at 70. Money died today. He had been diagnosed with cancer. Money is known for such hits as 2 Tickets to Paradise and Take Me Home Tonight. In 1987, he received a Best Rock Vocal Grammy nomination for Take Me Home Tonight, which featured a cameo from Ronnie Spector. Actress Felicity Huffman learns her fate after pleading guilty to illegally paying thousands of dollars to fake a higher SAT score for her daughter. ABC's Megan Tevrezian, with the punishment Huffman now faces.
Felicity Huffman now facing jail time. Today, a judge sentencing the Desperate Housewives star to 14 days behind bars. This afternoon, Huffman walking to Boston's federal courthouse with her husband, actor William H. Macy. The scandal getting international media attention. The sentence comes after Huffman pleaded guilty in the Varsity Blues case, the country's largest college admissions scandal, admitting to paying $15,000 to have an SAT proctor alter her daughter's scores. Prosecutors pushed for a month behind bars. Huffman's attorney asked for a lighter sentence of probation and community service, along with a $20,000 fine. Earlier this week, Huffman attempting to explain her motivation in a letter to the judge, claiming her decision was out of desperation to be a good mother, believing that all I was doing was giving my daughter a fair shot.
Based on her own upbringing, where she felt like she didn't necessarily have a lot of support and she was kind of on her own, she wanted to go the extra mile to make sure that they had every advantage.
Huffman is one of 15 parents who have pleaded guilty in the case. The other 19 accused have decided to fight the charges, including actress Lori Loughlin. The federal probation office recommending that all parents receive prison sentences between 0 and 6 months, regardless of how much they paid.
The moral outrage here is enormous, right? It's kind of like moral batting practice that's going on here. Everybody has an opinion about it.
In addition to jail time, the judge ordered Huffman 1-year probation, 250 hours of community service, and a $30,000 fine. Megan Tevrezian, ABC News, Boston.
It's Friday night, and that means it is time for some Friday football frenzy. You know, the night with pads popping, terrific touchdown throws, remarkable runs, crowds cheering, and blaring bands. We're already into the 4th week of Friday football frenzy, and the Knightstown Panthers are bringing the energy today. Our Alyssa Donovan is with the cheerleaders, fans, and a few players as they gear up for tonight's game.
It is Friday football frenzy. I'm here at Knightstown High School, where the Panthers are getting ready to take on the Union City Indians for their homecoming game. The team is coming off a win and a great 2018 season. Last year, they won 9 games in a row for the first time in a decade.
Yeah, a lot of expectations. Last year, we kind of caught some people by surprise.
And tonight, they plan to continue the momentum on the field with a lot of proud fans behind them.
We're ready to break some more records than we did last week. Excited to see the turnout for the cheer block. It's Friday night. Let's get it.
This morning, a great turnout for Friday Football Frenzy. Students bringing the energy and the excitement. Odds are they'll be cheering tonight, too. The coach says his team is planning on a big win.
If the kids do what our game plan is, I think we'll do a good job tonight. They've had a good last couple of games. They've done a great job. Had a big win last week. So great group of kids, and they play hard. So expecting some big things tonight.
I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Thanks, Alyssa. Some of the big games we're covering tonight are Chittard versus Cathedral, Beech Grove at Cecina, Ben Davis at Center Grove, Brownsburg at Avon, and Hamilton Southeastern at Fishers. We'll have all of the highlights and scores tonight on the news at 11. On Sunday, the Indianapolis Colts will try to bounce back from last week's overtime loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. The Colts will be on the road again, this time in Nashville against the Tennessee Titans. This is an AFC South rivalry game, and it could play an important role in potential playoff positioning later in the season. Kickoff is set for 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
I'm a sucker for you.
Are you a sucker for the Jonas Brothers? I knew it, Kevin. The popular band is playing in Indianapolis tonight, and Live Nation has opened up more floor seats on sale now. You can get those tickets on Ticketmaster.com or Ticketmaster's app. The Jonas Brothers will perform at Bankers Life Fieldhouse for their Happiness Begins tour. Bibi Rexha is one of the opening acts. It all starts at 7:30 tonight, just in time for the end of the 7 o'clock news. You can get down there.
Happiness Begins tour. Hopefully Happiness Never Ends.
Right, after that.
Tour. Okay, so I was just given notification that we may have a beautiful rainbow that's visible on one of our traffic cameras, and if that is true, Make our day. Make our day. Just whenever you want, pop up the rainbow if we do have it. The shower on the southeast side of Indianapolis has some lightning with it. We'll zoom in a little closer. Little thunderstorm just to the east of Beech Grove, southeast 465 area. This will be moving toward New Powell as it comes into Hancock County. And so it is kind of perfect conditions to see rainbows as a result of the skies clearing right back behind this line. Between Portland and Winchester, there's a little area of heavy rainfall. That's one thing about these. You'll have some heavy rain, but they are moving. They're not stationary. You're just sitting in one place between Connorsville over toward Liberty and Richmond as well. Temperature trend, 91 right now in Greensburg, while it's 85 in Lafayette. Temperature, Bloomington 87, Indy's at 88. As I mentioned, we made it to 91 this afternoon. Mark, all you have to do is ask me and I'll kick the ball.
Kick the ball now.
All right, so we go in a little closer. Boom. I have never missed, and it's week 3. Temperature 81 for kickoff at these games. If we have a lingering shower or thunderstorm, it will be in the eastern third of the state. Even there, I think we'll be winding down by the time we get to 7 o'clock, falling into the 70s after that. Today is Friday the 13th, and we've got this. Hopefully you've seen it the last couple of nights, the nearly full moon. Tonight it's technically a full moon. Temperatures refreshingly cooler in the morning, middle to upper 50s. You got to like that. 2 mornings in a row. Temperatures will be in the 50s to start the day. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, low humidity. That's the key. And even on Sunday, temperatures come back up, but the humidity will not be as strong. Just to show you some of the wet roads on the southeast side, and you'll see breaks in the cloud cover. The rainbow has disappeared on us, but wet streets in spots this evening as we have the thunderstorms, but there's no rain in the forecast really once we get to tomorrow until the end of next week. Back to the computer we go. These overnight lows won't last that long in the 50s. We'll be back well into the 60s. There are your temperatures tomorrow. Lots of sunshine around. IU, Ohio State, huge game there. 75 degrees at kickoff. It's a night game up in West Lafayette, 7:30, 76 for the kickoff. Ball State, Notre Dame will have great weather as well. Wherever you're headed over the weekend, dry conditions, lower humidity. Enjoy. Back into the middle to upper 80s most of next week with rain chances pretty much non-existent.
All right, if you see that rainbow out there, take a picture,
grab
send it
it
to us. Yeah. Grab it. And the gold. Thanks, Kevin, for that. Hey, a text to the wrong number ends with a story of hope and help, how it's changed a young boy's life.
Working for you.
Good afternoon. I'm Ted Rollins with Court TV. This morning, Skylar Richardson was sentenced to 3 years of community supervision. Yesterday, she was convicted of 1 count of abuse of a corpse and acquitted of 3 charges of murder, relating to murder, aggravated murder, involuntary manslaughter, and child endangerment. Richardson addressed the court this morning. Here is what she said.
Ms. Richardson, you get the last word in all of this. Is there anything that you want to tell me before I impose a sentence?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would do anything and above that you ask, and I understand. And I just wanted to say how sorry I was. I can sometimes be selfish, but I would like to think that I've become better in the knowledge that I've upset everyone and hurt so many people with what I've done. And I'm forever sorry, and I'm so sorry. I'm really, really sorry, and I understand. And thank you.
Stay with Court TV for more on this and other legal news. I'm Ted Rollins. Now back to you in the studio.
And you can stream Court TV live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at CourtTV.com. A text message sent to the wrong number by 1 digit leads to help and hope from a complete stranger. A young boy battling pneumonia and a collapsed lung, and the text that led to an extraordinary and unexpected moment. Little Noah is fighting for his life at Children's Hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. He suffered a seizure that sent vomit into his lungs last week. Noah's parents are at the hospital, so their friend, Abby Fink, sent a text that she thought was going to Noah's family. Here is that text.
Said, hey, Brother Jakeman, this is Sister Fink. We are bringing you dinner tomorrow. I was wondering what time would be a good time to bring it over. The response I got back was, ew, what are you bringing me?
On the other end of that text was a man named Bill having a little fun with Fink. Clearly, she sent the text to the wrong person, but when Fink told him the intended target, his response was unexpected.
And then it was immediately, how can I help? And I was like, well, just pray for Noah. And he was like, well, I don't really pray, but I can help with donations, food, etc.
Fink was stunned. Bill told her as a single father it was a teachable moment for his own son, and it's just what people do. Since then, Bill has rallied friends on Facebook to send gifts and cards to Noah. He even contacted a local charity that now wants to lend a hand too. Noah is finally out of the ICU but remains at the hospital as a long recovery begins. As for Bill, he plans to drop off a gift and meet the young boy in person next week. Wow. New at 6 p.m. here on RTV6. So many stories, severe lung illness, even death being linked to vaping. We've heard from health professionals and people who vape. Now local businesses say they're being scapegoated. But first on the Now Indy, an Indiana couple accused of abandoning their daughter 6 years ago as they moved out of the country. The big development in the case tonight. You're watching RTV6.